Greetings, everybody. It's the Bob and Emil Friday Night Live with Bob and Emil coming to you through the Twitterverse, through the Periscope, and all that kind of fun stuff. We're here to take your questions, and we will be taking them. I'm Bob Harris, senior editor here at FootballDiehards.com. He's Emil Kadlec, the publisher and head honcho here. Emil, how you doing tonight?
Having fun. The week went quickly.
Yeah, if you're out there and on the Twitter and you're seeing this for the first time, I'm going to retweet it right now. Get your questions answered. Something we like to do every Friday night, and we will be doing if you're joining us on the Twitter. Go ahead and hit footballdiehards.com/free trial to check out what we have to offer on the site, what we do every day, and you know, what kind of goods you can get, rankings, articles, video, audio, all kinds of good stuff sitting there waiting for you now. Some great contributors, including Bobby Gomes, a former DFS DraftKings Millionaire Maker winner, Kyle Dvorak, Justin Lanero, John Lobb, Brad Cruz, one of the top high-stakes players in the world, Mike Valverde, among others, and so we're here. We're going to run through the news a little bit real quickly, Emil, just to set the headlines and make sure everyone knows what the hell's going on if you haven't been keeping up with things. Patrick Mahomes back in the mix. He will start. We'll play with no restrictions. Talked to Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star just a short time ago. And so it seems like all systems are go. His feeling was they wouldn't put him back in unless he was ready to play because they didn't really need to. And so here we are. And so we got that. Alvin Kamara, Jared Cook, Traquan Smith, all off the injury report for the New Orleans Saints. So they will have a full array of talent there. George Kittle has not practiced yet this week. Issues with his knee. Robbie Gould in that same game may not kick. So it's Monday night kickoff. That's when we may talk about a little more. Questions permitting. Lamar Jackson expected to play despite an illness that kept him out of practice Thursday. He was back today. Le'Veon Bell, questionable, expected to play. Chris Herndon could return for the Jets as well, make his 2019 debut. I don't know how excited we should get, but I'm a little excited. It was a good run late last season with Sam Darnold. Would like to see a little more of that if we can get it going together for the Jets playing the Giants. James Conner will miss a second straight game with the shoulder injury he has. Jalen Samuel and Trey Edmonds will carry the workload there. Juju Smith-Schuster turned up as questionable today with a toe injury. That's always a little worrisome when you have a Friday injury. That'll be something to watch. By the way, hit the main page of the site where you will find this ongoing stream of news. Use that footballdiehards.com/free trial if you'd like. Adam Thielen ruled out again this week. Olabisi Johnson moves into the starting lineup. AJ Green out indefinitely. Matt Ryan returns. Jacoby Brissett is a game-time decision. Those are some of the top stories. We'll start answering your questions. Feel free to fire away. Emil will jump in on those.
Yeah, we got a couple quick ones here. One's a trade. It says 2 seconds and Hardman. Too much for DJ Moore?
I don't think it's too much. I guess, you know, the question for Hardman is that the role is always going to be somewhat limited by, you know, the guys in front of him. And I mean, I think he can develop and become more of a player there, but it's going to be Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are the primary weapons there. Sammy Watkins is in the mix. I think, you know, kind of for me, Mecole Hardman is along the lines of DeMarcus Robinson. I mean, both of those guys are capable of having big games, making big plays. I think that's not too much to give up. I mean, the 2 seconds is.
Well, I'm assuming that's a dynasty league. So if you think Hardman maybe next year is all of a sudden something's going to change, which I don't think it is. So, yeah, that's...
Right, I don't either. I think I'd like the DJ Moore side of that. I mean, I think the role is pretty consistent. Look, I'm still, you know, tending to play depth charts. I do think that's pretty pricey as well, the 2 seconds. You can get a little something, especially in this year's draft. It's going to be really good.
We got a pick two. We have Mack, Henry, and Samuels. I assume that's Jalen Samuels. You got to have two of those guys.
I'm going to take Mack against the Miami Dolphins for sure with the quarterback issues. We talked about it. Jacoby Brissett. I think he's going to play, and if he does, maybe a little bit extra effort to protect him with a heavy rushing attack. I think that's an easy play. For me, Henry's a little bit of a concern just because I wonder if this, you know, look, the Chiefs are a high-scoring team as a general rule. Maybe they won't be as high-scoring, you know, in Patrick Mahomes' first game back. It wasn't great before Mahomes left. I mean, he wasn't playing at the same level he did last year, but it wasn't horrible. I'd probably go Samuels at this one. Did he say PPR or not?
He did not say. I mean, it would obviously if it's PPR. I think Jalen Samuels is probably a pretty good bet.
Right, it's an easy call for me if it's a PPR. If it's not, maybe I still go Henry. But if you remember last week, Henry didn't even carry the ball really. I think he had 2 carries in the first half. It was a weird game, and I wonder if it's not going to be a weird game. Maybe hard for them to focus on the run if the Chiefs, that offense comes out firing.
I would, let's assume it's PPR. Samuels is, if it's
Samuels
PPR, it's just a dead nuts. All right, we have DJ Metcalf or AJ Brown.
So the thing about Brown, I guess, right now is Corey Davis is questionable or doubtful, so almost certainly will not play in this one. No Delaney Walker again. I think they're going to have to throw the ball, and I think it's a pretty good matchup. I might go ahead and take the chance. It's pretty tough matchup against San Francisco. You'll be surprised to learn. That defense pretty tough. I know that the Cardinals got a little something done against them last week. Look, just like the Ravens got a little something done against the Patriots. I think the Patriots are still a really good defense. Same with the 49ers. I might try to avoid that matchup. I will say, though, Russell Wilson does make a big difference there, right? I mean, you have that quarterback. So it's closer than it probably should be given the matchups to me. Which way would you go, Emil?
I think I would go with AJ Brown. I just think that San Francisco is going to be a tough match. It's at San Francisco.
Right.
I think AJ Brown may be a nice play. Another guy just said, I think he's joking around, should I start Des Bryant?
Nah, not just yet, but give him a couple weeks. Des is trying to get reinstated or says he wants to sign with the team and contribute, so that'll be interesting.
All right, can you play Hunt yet for Cleveland?
You can. I mean, it's Buymageddon. There's 6 teams on bye. There's a bit of attrition. I mean, I think if you're in a pinch, you go with what Freddie Kitchen said. There's going to be a roll. Talk to Mary Kay Cabot of the Cleveland Plain Dealer just a couple hours ago. She thinks it's going to be a roll, but not like a roll that would make you want to sit Nick Chubb, but a roll. So, if he's there in the passing attack, she did say that he looked fantastic, fresh, ready to roll.
If these guys, if Cleveland could sustain drives like Kansas City does, you could have another guy who could really contribute. So they've got to start, getting the ball matriculating down the field to give people like Hunt more time. And of course, like you said, you got a lot of buys this week. Maybe you start him as a flex and hope.
Right. I would say this: if you were thinking about starting Dontrell Hilliard, start Kareem Hunt.
If you were starting, that's funny. All right, we got Metcalf or Marquez Brown. Wow.
Metcalf or who?
Marquez Brown. I'm assuming Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, Hollywood. So
Hollywood.
For fantastic matchup. It was Brown or who?
Metcalf, DK Metcalf.
I'm probably going to play Brown. It's an early afternoon kickoff. Make sure he's active. He's listed as questionable. Make sure Lamar Jackson is active. He's questionable. I think both of them will play. It's hard for me to go away from that matchup, though.
At Cleveland, at Cincinnati, you're just waiting for this guy Hollywood to break out again. So, like you said, if they're healthy and playing.
It hasn't been great, but you're looking at an offense that scored 37 points last week against a team that hadn't given up 14 or more than 14 all year. So the Bengals, this just in, not as good as the Patriots. I'm probably going to go that way. I get it. Metcalf looks phenomenal. We'll see what Josh Gordon can bring to the table. Does he maybe get some playing time? Is he red zone threat? Does he cut in? I think the thing to remember about the Seahawks, our buddy Mike Clay at ESPN, talking to him earlier in the week, and he keeps mentioning something. The Seahawks have more. Russell Wilson has thrown more passes into the end zone than any other quarterback in the NFL by like 11. It's like 31 to 20. So that is worth noting with Metcalf. And I guess if you're looking for a big home run play, he is still that. The matchup would have me looking the other way as long as everyone's active.
Yeah. All right, we got another one here. I'm sorry, you got one?
Let me throw one out.
Yeah, fire it.
Okay. To trade, half-point PPR, 6-point quarterback TDs. He gets Kelsey, Devonta Freeman, and Deshaun Watson. He gives back Hopkins, Mack, and Josh Allen.
That's too many for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in giving. Well, I don't know. I think I'm doing this. If I get Watson and Kelsey, basically I'm giving up Hopkins. I think Mac for Freeman. I mean, slight lean to Mac. Kelsey to Hopkins. You're getting the top player at their position,
Yeah.
or one of the top players at their position. But the Deshaun Watson over Josh Allen would lead me to do this.
I agree with that one, and I'm a little worried about Hopkins. He's just, they're spreading it out, and he's just not getting the numbers he was getting before.
Yeah,
So
I think he'll be corrected, but I just think, doing that comparison, it's the Freeman to Mac. I think you're losing out a little bit. I think I'd rather have Mac over the course of time, but the Kelsey Hopkins kind of a push, and the Watson over Allen's is a pretty easy call for me.
I got another couple here. If Kittle doesn't go, is Whitten a good start?
I don't know if he's a good start, but he's a viable start, right? I mean, maybe Blake Jarwin is too. Ran like a gazelle.
Yeah. Where's my notes here? This Ross Dwelly is I mean, he didn't do a lot. 4 catches for 29 yards in week 9.
But clearly, if you're in a pinch, he's the guy, and not Levine Toilolo, the ginormous semi-tackle character. So
if you don't know if Kittle's not starting until Monday night, you get the Monday night problem.
You'd have to decide Sunday night. I don't want to make that decision.
Is it Sunday night? Yeah, I thought it was Monday night.
I think that's a reasonable pivot.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's see. I had another one here. They're flying in.
I think Jacob Hollister is a guy you could consider there as well. Emil,
yeah, that's a good point.
But we don't know if Ben Dixon's coming back or not, and that could be an issue. So I think Dwelly's probably a safe play.
Janu Smith or Ebron?
So Ebron hit the coach's office and pounded on the table this week. Wants more looks, wants more turns, wants more action. It's a great matchup for the Colts again. It's Miami. Although they're improving, it's a low bar. They're still not great. So,
and you're not sure about Brissett either.
Right, that's a little bit of a question there. Look, I think Jonnu Smith is a great play. I think I probably lean Smith in this case, but I think it's really close.
Yeah,
the matchup maybe wait and see if Brissett. I think that's an early afternoon kickoff.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
It's a late afternoon kickoff.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to make a choice. You may learn something, before the 1 o'clock starts. Maybe you learn something, but you're going to have to make a decision.
Well, if you're on our website, footballdiehards.com, and if you're just tuning in out of nowhere and you don't know what the hell's going on, go to footballdiehards.com/free trial.
Yay!
A couple weeks free.
We're starting to pile up. Here's an interesting one. What draft compensation should I get in return for Julian Edelman, 16-team, half a PPR dynasty? 16.
I'm looking for at least a first-round pick.
He's a number 1 receiver right now.
Right. He's aging right now. I think that's it's fair to start in front of that, but I wouldn't be letting him go for nothing. It'd be a first-round pick and maybe a little something I could put back in my lineup, even if it's obviously wouldn't be as high level as him. But that's what I'd be after.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, pick 2: John Brown Marvin Jones or Pascal, PPR.
Wow. So Pascal's a guy we'll probably get a lot of questions about. I've gotten a lot on Twitter and on the radio program. By the way, if you're Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, comes in on your radio device, listen to Football Diehards every day, every weekday from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm probably, maybe it depends on the quarterback. I mean, I like playing John Brown every week. I like playing the guy who can run past everyone. Cleveland, not an impenetrable. Jones for sure. So it's between Pascal and Brown, right? The Lions can't play defense. They can't run. They're throwing the hell out of the ball. Maybe they can run a little better. Chicago not as good against the run with Hakeem Hicks out. The last few weeks, it's been a little easier to run on them. I'll grant you that. But I don't think the Lions are equipped to run, and that doesn't seem to be the direction they're going. So Jones, the easy call. I like the hell out of John Brown, but I think that matchup for Pascal is pretty damn sweet. Maybe I'd lean that way.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that one. You still have to worry about Brissett, but hopefully you can make that choice. All right, you got another one here.
But I think Hoyer was serviceable enough, that it wouldn't panic me.
Yeah. All right, we got a trade question here. Keenan Allen and Josh Jacobs for Tyler Boyd, Mark Ingram, Hunter Henry, fair trade, 8-team PPR. 8-team, what does that tell me?
Is it an 8-team?
8-team PPR. Not sure what that's telling me. Wow. An 8-team, depending how deep the rosters are, means there's a lot of talent out there. What does that tell me?
I'm probably not doing this. I mean, I get the 3 for 2, and the desire to get Henry, I think is, a great play to the position. But in an 8-team league, I'm going to find a tight end. I'm probably not doing this. I want the Jacobs Allen side of this.
Yeah, I think Jacobs young enough. Allen is getting up there, but I think Jacobs is going to be so steady, and I think I would be tempted to stick.
There is reason to wonder, watching last night, you could see Phillip Rivers is starting to look like this might be the end of the trail for him. But hell, if he's gone, it doesn't just impact Allen, it impacts Henry as well. So I'm probably not. I'm probably sticking with the Allen Jacobs side of this.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we're waiting for more questions. You got any questions?
Yeah, let's just run by. I haven't got any new ones, and we'll be running to the top of the hour, everyone. So we got about 13 more minutes to get in questions if you got them. I'll be answering questions tomorrow on Twitter as I usually do, and throwing out a link to that free trial, footballdiehards.com/free trial. Try it out, sign up. It's a 2-week thing, and you can check out what we do there.
We also have the free agent tool that you can link all your teams to in ESPN, NFL, Yahoo, CBS, Sleeper.
My Fantasy.
My Fantasy League. It's on the right-hand side under Tools. It says Free Agent Tool. You just go in there and follow the instructions. If you don't have an account, you can set up a free account so you can start linking your teams in, and then you can search across all your teams and all the platforms for any player you want to pick up. And it will recommend
the top free agents available in each of those leagues. If you're like me and you play in 25 leagues, it's probably a pretty damn handy thing. Anyhow, so let's just, before we get some more questions, I want to ask you what your expectations of Mahomes back. Any concerns for you throwing him right back into your lineup, or you agree with the basic premise? The Chiefs are putting him back in, so am I.
Well, it's kind of early to me, but I'm not a doctor and I don't know what's going on. I've got him in like 3 leagues, and I'm looking at it going, I'm just going to put him in. I am. Look,
the Chiefs, for me, are one of the most transparent teams when it comes to their medical situations.
Uh-huh.
I don't know of any other team that puts their trainer, Rick Burkholder, and he's been doing this since he was with Andy Reid in Philadelphia. They put him out there for press conferences, and he just lays out, look, this is where we're at with him. And I thought Andy Reid was very honest all along. Look, when he can play, he'll play. We're not there yet. And then when they're there, hey, we're there. We think he can play without restriction. I'm going to say yes, he can. And I think it's good news. Travis Kelce's been very busy. I think Matt Moore, he's been targeted 27 times in the last 3 games. The targets have been there. The touchdowns are going to come for him, I'm telling you, people.
Yeah.
The positive touchdown regression is en route for him. Tyreek Hill, I'm still playing. What about...
How about we got 2 questions here real quick.
Go ahead.
If I can interrupt. Murray or Rodgers? I'm assuming he's Kyler Murray or Aaron Rodgers for this week's start.
Look, it's a sweet matchup. I'm probably sticking with Murray. I'm with Rodgers. I wouldn't talk you out of Murray. I think they're both in our top 5 or 6, aren't they, Emil? Yeah. So this week, to pretend I can pick with that kind of granularity, it's really easy to want to pick on the Buccaneers secondary. They gave up the second most points to wide receivers. So I get that. He has a high floor as well with the running ability. So I wouldn't talk you out of Murray if that's where you're leaning. Rodgers, slightly tougher, maybe a little easier to run against the Panthers than it is to throw, but James Bradbury is questionable. Talk to Gary Davenport, our IDP expert, this very evening. He doesn't think Bradbury's going to play. If that's the case, it's great news for Devontae Adams. So even if he's not 100%, that's great news for Devontae Adams. So he's taken off the injury report today for the first time since September 26th when he injured his toe. So I'm going to stick with Rodgers. He's playing really well.
Yeah, I think
last week. I get it.
Yeah, they had a bad week last week against a bad team. I would think that they were going to be fired up. They're going to be at home, and I think it's hard to set him down. And we got another. They're coming in here. Let's see. Okay, Lockett or OBJ full PPR?
I'm gonna play Lockett. I don't have any faith in OBJ. I want to see the course correction before I start buying into it. Lockett's incredibly efficient, even in a tough matchup. One of the things that Russell Wilson does really well, and if you've watched, you know this, and I'm telling you the obvious, his deep ball is amazing, and he's dialed in. If you remember last year, a perfect passer rating throwing to Lockett. They're in lockstep. I'll go ahead and take the chance with that matchup. Until we see something from this passing attack and Beckham in Cleveland, I'm willing to take that chance.
Lockett's too good. The situation's too good. You got to stick with him. All right, what do we got here? All right, it says here, pick 2, Week 10 starters. I don't know what it's a PPR or not. Tyler Boyd, Hollywood Brown, and Jarvis Landry. Pick 2.
So, Beckham, I'm a little leery of. Landry has a little more favorable matchup, not going against Tre'Davious White for the most part, as Beckham will. And I think he's played pretty well the last couple of weeks, kind of, under the radar play. Look, Boyd, Ravens secondary is all back together, right? They have all 4 of their guys. They have the regular corners, their slot corner, and they're playing really well. It's a rookie quarterback playing with Boyd. So I'm going to say if Hollywood Brown is active, I'm probably going that way. I don't know what I expect from Ryan Finley, except not very much.
Yeah, I got you. I would go with Hollywood and Jarvis. I think that's a pretty fair, proper way to go. Okay, what else do we have here? It says thank you because he answered one of his previous questions. Another league, similar scenario. PPR, John Brown, Pascal with E. Sanders. Not sure what the question. Need two.
So Sanders for sure, right? I mean, we're liking what he's given the San Francisco 49ers. The Pascal Brown thing, in a PPR, I'm probably going Pascal. Look, John Brown is great. John Brown is a big play threat. He can run past pretty much everyone on the field every time he's on the field. He is a home run swing every single time. Yeah. I wonder if this offense isn't going to start shifting a little more to Devin Singletary now that he's rolling a little bit. It's a good matchup for him. I wonder if the Bills aren't looking to limit their exposure to Josh Allen's tendency to make mistakes, by leaning a little more heavily on the run now that they have a dynamic threat. I think Singletary right now is averaging like almost 7 yards a carry, and I think almost 7 yards, more than 6 yards a target. I think they lean on him a little more. I wouldn't talk you out of John Brown in this one, and maybe I would feel a little better about Pascal if I knew for sure it was Jacoby Brissett, but I'm probably leaning that way just because of the matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I would go Pascal and Sanders, and we got another one here: Damian Williams or Latavius Murray, RB2.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Williams. I feel like he's he's moving into the lead role. As I mentioned earlier, talked to Blair Kirkhoff from the Kansas City Star. We asked him how it was playing out, with McCoy, and he basically said McCoy's in the doghouse because of the fumbles, and that's an Andy Reid thing, and he doesn't see that changing as long as Damian Williams keeps going. He's not going to break off a 91-yard touchdown run every game, but with Mahomes back, maybe he gets a little more involved in the passing attack as we saw down the stretch last.
Could be actually better for him. I agree with that. Okay, we got another one. Half a point PPR. Mixon, Ridley, Boyd, need 2. Boy. Well,
I can't play Mixon unless the other choice is Boyd. It's not easy to run against that. Look, Mixon's averaging, I think, like yards a carry. It's been horrible. He's getting hit at or behind the line of scrimmage at a rate higher than every other back in the NFL.
And who are the Falcons playing? The Saints at the New Orleans Saints. So.
I'm gonna play Ridley for sure. I mean, he's the easy call, and for me, it's between which Bengal that I feel, and so I'm gonna play the workload and go with Mixon and hope he catches a touchdown pass or something ridiculous like he has done a couple times this year. I just don't feel good about Boyd with a young quarterback and with the coverage of the Ravens. The Ravens defense has gotten really good over the last few weeks, and they're not the one you remember from earlier in the year. That's for sure.
Yeah, they had a little slack there. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. Difficult situation, but I think that's Mixon and Ridley is probably the best way to go. Okay, we're done questions right now. Waiting for a few more. You got anything over there?
All right, yeah, we got about 5 more minutes, people. So get in some questions. I wanted to ask you about Kamara, Jared Cook coming back. The Saints. This Falcons defense has been horrible. They haven't stopped anybody this year. ranked, I think, 29th in the league, and it's been very tough for them, tough sledding for them. We've got Kamara. We've seen him have huge games against the Falcons in the past. We've seen Michael Thomas have huge games against the Falcons in the past. How confident are you in both of those plays this week?
I think you can play Kamara. Obviously worried coming back from being off for a while injured. I really worry about Latavius. Obviously, if they have a blowout game, I'm a little worried that he's going to lose a lot of his mojo from Kamara.
Yeah, look, I think Latavius Murray's earned a little bit more of a role with his play the last couple of weeks without Kamara, but I don't know that. I think so the Falcons are known for being especially generous to receiving backs. They've been a little less so this year than they have in past years, but still very. And I think this game is a good setup for Kamara to come back and have a great game. So I love him there. How about
I got two questions.
Bell?
Two questions.
Right, real quick. Let me ask you this: Le'Veon Bell and the Jets. Where does he fall for you? Is he still like a locked-in running back one, or are you looking at other options? Does he slide down to a running back two?
Yeah, to me, he's more a running back two right now. Now, the Giants, maybe he can get healthy a little here, assuming he is healthy. You've paid a lot for him, but if you've got other alternatives, hopefully you can play him. But maybe this is a game you can play him as an RB2. And he may make up with the Giants. He's still got talent, and if they can get him the ball running and receiving, maybe he'll get some sugar from that one. What do you think?
All right, you got a question or two left?
Yeah, let's see what we got. He says, should I trade Saquon for David Johnson and Chris Godwin? I'm assuming this is a season-long league. I would be tempted to do that because you get two pretty damn good players if you assume David Johnson is... I
disappeared briefly.
Oh, there you are. So it all depends on whether you think David Johnson... I'm assuming it's a season long. If it's a season long, David Johnson, is this guy going to be healthy the rest of the season? Because you get David Johnson and Godwin. But what do you think?
What was the trade?
The trade was, should I trade Saquon for David Johnson and Chris Godwin?
That's a hell of a lot of value coming back.
Assuming David Johnson's healthy the rest of the year.
Right, and we'll see what the role is. Start getting a feel for that. This weekend it's going to be a timeshare, and my concern is, right away it's a timeshare with Kenyon Drake. I don't think you shipped off a 5th round pick just to discard this guy as soon as everyone else gets healthy. So when Chase Edmonds gets back, is it going to be a 3-way split you're dealing with every week? That would kind of be my concern. I think you're really diminishing yourself, but
is Saquon going to come back and be Saquon?
Play. Right. I want the Saquon side of this. I think for me, I'm going to stick there.
Okay. Here you got another one.
Godwin, but we've seen the last few weeks, Mike Evans has kind of been Mike Evans, and I mean I think it's going to be a little bit of a give and take there. I guess that's the thing. It's almost like I'm not trusting David Johnson's role going forward at this point.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, Brissett or Daniel Jones this week?
Well, I'm going to play Brissett. I'd probably play Jones either way. Look, two guys, fairly equal situations. Both got the late afternoon kickoff, so I'm going to probably go ahead and play Jones. When I have two guys that are kind of in the similar range, I'm playing the one who's healthy, who starts the game healthy. It's a tough game, the NFL football, and going in hurt is not the ideal thing. I mean, if you have two guys that are in the same range. I mean, ideally, if everyone was healthy, if both of them were healthy, it would be Brissett, but it's not like that.
Got a couple more. They're flying out here in the last few minutes. Okay, quarterback. It's 2-quarterback league. He says he's already starting Carr, and he wants to know Mahomes or Wilson.
You say Mahomes. I'll go ahead and say Mahomes. I get why you started, Carr, not knowing what was going on with Mahomes. So, it just kind of leaves you in a situation where for 1 week you're not playing the best quarterbacks on your roster. But that happens, and I think you made the wise call not knowing yet because it was really up in the air with Mahomes. So I'm going to go ahead and play Mahomes in his first game back just because of the matchup. I mean, if it was any other team than San Francisco, I'd probably play it safe with Wilson this week. But
I got you.
I'm going to go Mahomes.
Here's a couple more here. Half point, Hooper or Mixon?
Here we are playing tight ends over Joe Mixon. That's where we're at. Yeah, I probably would, especially against the Browns defense. So, yep.
Yeah, all right, I'll agree with that one. And then we have, would you rather have A.J. Green or Brandon Cooks? Half a point PPR. I'd say Cooks. Huh? I'm assuming for the rest of the year.
Yeah. For the rest of the season, absolutely. I mean, Cooks got back on the practice field today, by the way, on a limited basis. He is out this week, but I think he'll be back next week. And I don't think the Rams have been great, but what are your expectations for the Bengals? Is Ryan Finley going to be the best thing since sliced bread?
Yeah.
Is that going to draw? There's some talk.
Is A.J. Green even going to come back this year?
Right. There's some talk that maybe some of this issue is more than his ankle and, maybe some issues.
How long does it take an angle? It's been over 10 weeks, hasn't it?
Right. He did have surgery, so he says he's had some swelling. So, I mean, I'm not going to totally just accept the theories that he's ticked off, and he said all the right things at the trade deadline, so I don't know.
Okay, Winston or Matt Ryan?
I'm going to play Winston this week.
I agree. Winston it is. Pascal or Gallup?
I'll play Pascal this week.
I agree. Okay, start Pascal. Okay, somebody else made up. Well, they like Pascal too. And then another one said Pascal or Gallup is half PPR and half PPR. So
it's still Pascal.
Same thing.
Volume.
All right, so that's the questions now. I hope I didn't miss one. They were flying along.
All right, well, that's it for this week's show. I just want to remind everyone to hit the website, footballdiehards.com. Go to footballdiehards.com/free trial. If you're not a subscriber, you'll find a full range of pretty much a constant flow of news updates each week from Wednesday through each Sunday kickoff, giving you all the inactives, giving you all the intel in advance of what we can expect for each player, especially the injury focus on Sunday, early Sunday. Starts at about midnight and goes right up through each kickoff. So check that out. Plenty of columns, a lot of live video. Bobby Gomes, DraftKings Millionaire Maker winner, will be online Sunday at 9 a.m. Do a little roster build. He's also on Wednesday night with Kyle Dvorak. That's 8:15 Eastern time to help you start building rosters. Tons of content from myself, Gary Davenport, Justin Lanero, Brad Cruz, Mike Valverde, Matthew Sharon, Evan Tarciano. The whole crew is there, so check it out. Rankings are always updated. Also, listen to Football Diehards on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio every weeknight from 6 to 8 p.m., Thursday 7 to 8. We're on Saturday night on the Sirius XM NFL Radio from 8 to 11, myself and Mike Dempsey. And I'm also on every Sunday morning on the pregame show, Sirius XM Fantasy Pregame, with Jeff Mans from 11 to 1, taking you right up to kickoff. And while you're listening, be on the site, getting all the latest news and information. Emil, thank you for another enjoyable Friday Night Live.
Yeah,
and we'll do it
pleasure.
again next week. So watch for the tweets, get your questions in. We'll answer all we can. Thanks, everybody.
Good luck this week.